Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 2. Let's go. I forgot I actually muted ourselves already. So Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 2. Salam Sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited live studio environment. Okay, we are a Manchester United fan YouTube channel, and like usual, do the YouTube stuff. Please like, share, subscribe, and share it around with all your friends. Okay, today is a very, very special episode. Okay, it's a milestone for us here today. All right, we are finally in person. I know a lot of people want to touch this guy. I want to touch this guy as well. Okay.
Oh my god.
And okay, we got a shout out to our Telegram group. All right, thanks so much, Tristan, for joining us for the live watch along. I think we managed to hit 2.2k. That is big up to everybody. Big up to everybody. Huge achievement for our milestone. Okay, and to join our Telegram group, follow the links in the description below. All right, and talk everything Manchester United, and also get to know all the members, all the good otai there. All right. So guys, let's jump straight into it now. All right. Hijab, why were you late just now? Okay, straight up, let's just talk about this now. Okay, our pretty much just now the game, it was a tale of two halves, right? The first half and also the second half, the 15 minutes, in comparison with the Crystal Palace game. So what's your take on the two halves that we watched just now?
Apa yang jadi training just now is like what happens last season. First half we were really good in terms of the pressing, in terms of the controlling the ball, controlling the tempo of the game. And in the second half, even though we can argue that we changed the whole team, but still the first team is playing until 60-65 minutes. So even 45 minutes until 65 minutes, nampak players are not comfortable. Suddenly dia tak ada idea nak main mana bola nak attack ke nak keeper. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't have to be like that. Like come that first match of the season lah, where we are very good the first half, but then the second half jadi tak pandai main bola. So.
But then if you think back, a lot of the rival fans, they were saying that United fans were just overreacting only pre-season, then we were like going to this game, we were expecting so much more. So Syed, expectations versus reality, should we be worried? Should we maybe tone down our confidence as United fans?
I think it's too early to say that we are the perfect side and we are going to win the league. We are far away from winning the league because like we were discussing before the kickoff, we were talking about like this would be the most competitive game of pre-season so far.
Correct.
And then we already knew like we can consider this as the first Premier League game for us because both of the teams they were playing the first ideal 11, and this is what we saw. And as we predicted, like, it is going to be a close game, and it turns out to be a close game. Yes, we started good in the first half. There was pattern. They were like we were discussing in the halftime that they were shaping in a deep shape. We had two players always available who should receive the ball. But then in the second half, I think when they came out from the dugout, they were not the same as the first half. Then we made some changes. The young guys, the youth, they came and I think they were very rash. They didn't perform up to the mark. So I think overall the performance was good. I'm not going to say it was a very horrible performance from us. It was good performance considering the pre-season. It was good minutes for everybody to take, and I think the manager would have taken some notes for what he needs to do for the next game.
Yeah, we got a comment here by Brian Lee. All right, shout out to Brian Lee, the man of the match for this watch along. Right, so he mentioned that we should speak up louder because maybe we should move in closer to them. Right? Let's be closer. Let's be closer. Because we're a bit worried. We got Ronaldo in. We might just end up fighting here. Live. Right, so Smurf. So for this particular game, in the watch along, you were talking about the condition of the pitch and also the weather. How much does that actually affect our game?
I think if you're going to play long balls, like Ole style, those were the days, it wouldn't have been that bad because you're just going to pump the ball up, all right? But you're talking about smooth flowing football, fluid football, 1-2, all right? And of course, on top of that, the ball is not going to be slippery when wet weather caused you to have very bad first touch. I mean, it was evident that we saw Sancho right in front of the goal. He couldn't control the ball right to the keeper. I mean, that if it was on dry weather, I wouldn't have doubted that he would have actually scored that. So for me, the weather played a very big part in the performance of the way we want to play today, of the way that we believe ETH wants the team to move forward with. All right. But nevertheless, in the first half, we were in control of the game. We were in control of the game. We were playing the opponent's half, and somehow, after Villa made their change in the second half, they came out. It looked like it was all back to square one like last season. And we did not control the game. Villa was playing in our half. We were under pressure. Our players were off position. I mean, look at it. The first goal that went in, where was Luke Shaw?
Yes.
And where was the cover? Where was Lindelof? Lindelof was actually pairing up with Luke Shaw on the left-hand side. Where was Lindelof? I mean, it was just easy for this Bailey to come in on the left side, took a shot, and I mean, sad to say that even De Gea was off performance this particular game, and this was basically a string of bad performance for him. Three goals so far. And if you ask me, yes, I like De Gea, but it was on him. It was certainly on him, the 3 goals. Well, of course, the first one, Luke Shaw, the defense didn't help much. The second goal that we conceded was utterly awful. Defense did not go in for any headers, and De Gea was not commanding enough in his territory.
Sorry, Remy.
Where-
Again, De Gea was not what?
Okay, put it this way: he was not commanding enough. I mean, he would have told the defense or shouted that it's my ball, come out, punch the ball. I mean, look at other goalkeepers. Dean Anderson. I mean, he would have came out. Alisson would have came out. But De Gea, sadly, he was frozen this particular game for the second goal.
Just
So-
to add on, a comment by Eric, David Deglued, the guy can never claim crosses.
Yeah.
This is something that we actually saw a lot in, I would say, the previous seasons.
Not only the previous seasons, this was something that we saw a lot in the first ever season in De Gea under Sir Alex Ferguson. I mean, he was, but the thing is, after so many years, he should have improved on it. He should have been much better on it, more commanding, more vocal, but unfortunately, he did not show it in this particular game. Well, he is still our number 1 keeper. I don't think so that Ethan will override him anytime soon. So we can only wish him the best and hope that he bucks up on his poor performance and move forward for us to challenge the title next season and probably win some trophies as well. So if he doesn't, then we are going to be back to square one.
Okay, so if you're, I mean, since we are on a lower note of things, all right, let me ask you, Ijal, the high line that we are playing right now. Okay, the previous games probably that the team wasn't really challenging us much, but we can actually see confidence at times. I mean, when actually Villa actually attacked us during the second half and whatnot, it was quite shaky and stuff. So going into the new season and whatnot, are you still as confident with the high line system that we are playing?
Yes, cuma I had this problem masa tengok the game friendly just now. all the midfielder is going out tau. Memang dia dah press all the defender punya position. Unfortunately, the fullback, I don't understand why Dalo and also Luke Shaw, they still in one line with the centre back tau. They should have been supporting the wingers in order to close the opposition. So that's why I kata memanglah kita nampak Ten Hag ni doing all this high pressing, but if the players still comfortable in terms of still understand the previous manager punya philosophy style, and where the defender always one like that, it's gonna be a big problem there because there's a gap between the wingers and also the fullback. So when you have that gap, Fred and also if Fred and Van der Beek or Fred or Fred to end, gonna expose a lot in terms of being in the midfield because I'm sure that they're not gonna know how or who are they gonna be man marking because because when there's a big gap, you leave these two orang.
But I noticed the flat of the back four, like you mentioned, the flat of the back four only occurred once Villa scored their first goal. Before that, I mean, Luke Shaw was on top. Look at it until the first goal when Luke Shaw was on top. He was off position that actually, to me, it led to the goal. So maybe is it that memories come back and they get back on the back four together? I mean, because they were afraid to get exposed once again.
Yeah, I think that's the worrying thing about this high pressing now because we are very good high pressing in the first half. Suddenly in the second half, we cannot keep that energy.
The momentum
The
going.
momentum,
There's
the
nothing.
momentum gone. When the players are not synced, where the front line is always pushing, they know their job. Push the opposition defender, but if the defender doesn't sync with the attacker, then there's gonna be a problem.
Do you think, Said, that this is due to, you're talking about the wing backs playing inverted? Because I think Shaw, during that attack, Shaw was inverted. Maybe he was a bit confused and whatnot. Maybe they need a little bit, or do you think it's a personnel kind of problem, or is it more to the tactics kind of problem?
I think more about adopting the new tactics because there's a new manager, there's a new philosophy, there's a new tactic, so they are still adopting. And I think this is the time where they can make mistakes and they are allowed to make mistakes during the preseason. So I think we should also give them a fair chance that where the manager is putting some efforts, is giving them the guidance, and still the players are new to adopt the system. I think that's why we are saying like Eric Ten Hag, he has joined Manchester United, he is coming up with this philosophy. So 1 year there will be no magic. It will take some time for the players to gel in and to adopt what he really wants us to do. And I think Luke Shaw, for example, when we have the ball and the ball is on the left side, then Luke Shaw with the ball is ahead. And at that time Dalot is with the two defenders. And when Dalot and Sancho they are going ahead, then
Sancho, like you mentioned, the pendulum.
Yeah. So that's how they are shifting, and that's how they have to predict as well. When when they are off the ball, where they should go and where they can mark the player.
So in a way, it's good that early on we are being exposed to this at this moment, and then
preseason we are allowed to make
yes,
mistakes.
exactly.
No, but then if you notice, when the kids came in, Malaysia and okay, I wouldn't call Eric. Eric. Aaron Wan-Bissaka kid. But when they came in, if you notice, the line was not flat at the back any further. If you notice, Aaron Wan-Bissaka actually moved up. I mean, of course, with not much of a contribution at the end of the day, but yeah, he moved up. And Malaysia was also moved up, and he gave in a 5-year-old kid cross into the middle of the box where the keeper actually caught it. So that was another dejection. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad or so forth, but he should improve on it. But at the end of the day, we moved up. So is it that Shaw and Dalot, who was basically the players that was playing in the right back and left back initially in the second half, they were afraid, or maybe some psychology factor actually kicked into them, that after the first goal that went in, they actually sink back to the back four. Is that possible? Because I don't think so. This is ETH's plan. Because if it was his plan, you would have also seen Malaysia and also Aaron Wan-Bissaka stagnant at the back.
Okay, we got a comment by Raj. We are back to Ole's style of football. This team simply cannot handle pressure. Okay, that is the thing. Even those days, it was pretty much the same thing. The moment one goal goes in from the opponent, heads drop, and whatever plans that was initially on the table all gone. So this is what we're actually seeing now. Okay, so let's talk a bit of the positiveness now. Right? Let's talk about the front three now. Okay, from the front three today, let's start with Sancho. Sancho growing in with more and more confidence with another goal in his back. Smurf, what do you think about Sancho's performance today?
Terrific. His performance was terrific. I mean, considering the pitch, and like I said, this sort of pitch with heavy rains is soaky, it's wet, it slows down players. I mean, fast players, you tend to slow down because of injury, and of course the field absorbs your run, so you don't have the spring to actually hop on. But whatever the case is, he has been growing in confidence. He has been improving really, really well, and to put icing on the cake, that goal that he took, the goal that he scored, fantastic goal. I mean, he made it look easy, but you can put 10 strikers there. I would say probably 3 would have actually hit it that way. Some strikers might have missed kick. Some strikers would have even missed actually blundered it up. But the cross from Luke Shaw was excellent, and Sancho was the right man, right place, right time, and perfect finish for us.
That first goal by Sancho is actually what usually happens during the Ole style, where Rashford is coming in,
the left side.
Also overlapping him, cross and then the cross.
I mean, this is the sort of goal that brings me back to memories that Berbatov used to score this sort of goals, and it was. I mean, I missed that truly. So it reminds me a lot of Berbatov sort of goal, and I just hope that Sancho will grow in further confidence and bring this to the next game on the 30th. And also, they have 2 games,
30th,
which is 30th and 31st respectively, which I'm looking forward to see 2 different sides of sets of players playing. But nevertheless, bring this into the 30th, 31st, and also on the 7th, and make an impact. Go and win your first game in the Premier League.
Do you think by now Eric Ten Hag already have in mind who is the first 11? Or is he still experimenting around?
Yeah, I think you can say the back four too, the back four and the front three too is the chosen one.
Front three also cemented already.
Yeah, I think the front three. If there's a situation Ronaldo is coming in, then that will be the different argument. But you can see that the front three is the one that gonna be confirmed playing in the first game of the season, right? But he's still trying for this midfield in terms of Bruno, the big, and also McFred. Oh, these 4 players yang memang dorang nak team.
Plus Eriksen is not even in the team
but
yet.
surely Eriksen not gonna play until, I think for me, the way I see it, Eriksen not gonna play until the 3rd game of the season.
Third game is against Liverpool. He's not going to come in against Liverpool.
After that. But you never know. Maybe he did that experience to control the midfield.
He has that experience.
Yeah, that's experience. So you cannot be surprised in terms of Eriksen going to be playing probably in the second half against Liverpool.
No, it might be a McFred in the first game against, I think it was Brighton, if I'm not wrong. Brighton. It might be McFred, and I mean it will be good to even see Eriksen coming in the 60th minute so forth to take over whoever who is not performing, and build the momentum from there. Or I mean, we don't even have to wait for that. If Eriksen is in the team, the last game of our friendly 31st, it is happening in Old Trafford. He has time to basically play his first game for United.
But if you ask me, I'd rather start McFred rather than start Benjamin.
This is one of the things I want to ask you, since you're talking about this midfield. Do you think that we lack depth in our midfield right now? I mean, the guy that is supposed to come is not here yet. We only have Eriksen pretty much.
I thought that was the guy.
There's a lot of guys that we should not be talking about today. So do you think that we lack depth? So it's either McFred or Van der Beek. And clearly, I believe Van der Beek is one of those players that didn't really take his chance today to cement his spot in the first starting 11.
No, it's not only cement. I mean, if he had a fantastic game today, I wouldn't say that he has cemented his spot in the middle. I think Fred is a certain starter for Eric Ten Hag. Of course, the other one will be Bruno. So in the other term, I would to say that McTominay has a chance. He still needs to prove himself a lot. Eriksen is knocking on the door. He's actually there. He will just walk into the squad if Eric Ten Hag give him opportunity. We have Savage, who has shown what he can actually do for us. I mean, he played against Liverpool, and we are not talking about Liverpool's second squad or third squad. He played against Liverpool first squad as well, and he did impress. But of course, he's still young. I wouldn't say that he's ready to go on and be a superstar, but he is in the making. And we also have Garner. So for me, I think Eric Ten Hag is a manager who can work with this squad, this particular squad of people, and I think we can save that particular money on FDJ or whatsoever. I'll just be honest, FDJ, if he doesn't want to come to United for $17 million or 17 million euros or pounds whatsoever, and he is basically in contention for Chelsea, Newcastle, he's also declared interest his personal interest for Bayern Munich, then might as well bust off.
It's all false. He didn't say he don't want to come to United. It's just like it's hard to deal with Barcelona at the moment because of the money situation, because of the way they are making the deal hard for United. This is really taking them time. And I think Frankie de Jong, he already got the plan which Eric Ten Hag already pitched to him, and he really wants to come to United. I don't think there's any truth behind that he doesn't want to come to United or he wants to go to any other club. But I think talking about the midfield, I think we would get Frankie de Jong eventually. This is what I believe. Maybe at the start of the season or just few days before. So I think my front three would be Frankie de Jong along with Fred. And I think the CM would be the person which we will see keep on changing. Either it would be Bruno, either it would be Eriksen, or it would be Van der Beek as well. Because if you see the goal in the last game where Rashford scored the goal and Martial and Van der Beek, they connected together. So Van der Beek is a player who wants to play as a cam, as a free role, where he would come in a pocket, in a free space where he will collect the ball and he will pass the ball. So he's the type of person who wants to play in the box so that he can contribute, he can chip in goal, and he can also make some passes and assists as well. So I think Frankie de Jong and Fred would be, for me, it would be an ideal situation where Frankie de Jong would use his, mastermind to make the passes, and Fred would use his running ability and hunger to win the ball and running on the pitch. I think that would be, the middle three.
But if you bring in FDJ, for instance, no, you bring in FDJ and looking at our squad that, like I mentioned, and say Ghana goes out on loan for one more season. I mean, we got Charlie Savage still around. So what is going to happen to these kids? I mean, you still got McTominay down there knocking the door. You still got Ericsson knocking the door. You still have Wender Big who is still around and knocking the door. And then yeah. So what is going to happen to these guys?
I think Vanderbeek is not a direct substitute to Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong is a CDM, but central midfield who is dictating the game. Vanderbeek is not a player who would sit down and who would dictate the game. He doesn't have that composure. He doesn't have but he has this creativity where he would fall into those empty pocket and then he will score and he will assist the goal. So I think it's not a direct comparison if we do between Frankie de Jong and Vanderbeek. But we're talking about Charlie Savage, for example. I think he's still new. I mean, I'm also very enthusiastic when I see all the youth. I want them to play for United. I want them to score. But I think it's too early for Charlie Savage. But James Garner, I think he deserves the spot. But if the manager is not seeing him enough, I think that would be the end of.
I mean, this is what we said about Ilanga last season, and look at what happened to Ilanga. I mean, he did contribute quite well to the team last season, not this season. He did not impress me this season so far in the friendlies, but last season he did contribute. He was a big factor in our team last season. So this is what we said. I mean, the youths are not ready. The youths are not ready. I think if you could give Messi an opportunity when he was very, very young, when you can give Ronaldo an opportunity, you're talking about 17-year-old Ronaldo an opportunity when he was very young. Pedri, for instance, in Barcelona, who is very young. Why can't we give opportunity to these guys to actually show and shine
Our
themselves?
first 11 is not solidified yet. That is the issue. If we are already flying free
Yeah,
flowing,
winning the
and
leagues. For
we know-
example, you talk about like early 2000s,
Yes.
Sir Alex Ferguson, you were winning the matches. Then any youngster can come and shine.
Yes,
I
correct.
think that's a different. And I think we cannot compare Ronaldo Messi to those youngsters. They are like different level. They are out of this world.
I think the issue is again about the expectation. Our fans don't be patient enough in terms of giving these youth players, and then when they didn't perform, look what happens. You can see lah, 1 or 2 games, then they can understand. Okay, so okay, still 1 2 game.
No, I'm not saying we should start them
No,
all the time,
sure.
but I think that at the moment, it's not for me. The midfield is not a main concern with or without FDJ.
Yeah.
With or without FDJ, for me it doesn't. Well, it's good to have it. It's good to have him, no doubt about that. But if Barca is going to, in Malay they say tarik harga, pull strings, and blah 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 blah, then don't waste time on it. Move on. Either we go for somebody else now and get that particular person into the team and gel with the team, or we just forget about FDJ and gel our team right now together. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
so-
if Fred can actually improve under ETH, for him, Marshall have actually improved under ETH, but of course today was a bit dejected. But I wouldn't blame it 100% on Marshall because that we understood the pitch was it just doesn't suit our play at the moment. All right. So I think that even McTominay or even Ericsson that comes in, they can actually do well. Then
I don't think Fred is a person who can dictate the game by his own. With Eric Ten Hag's system, he needs somebody who can dictate the
He's
game.
more like a
collect the ball.
workhorse kind
And
of
also,
thing.
same
so
goes
he
with
can do
McTominay.
the defending. I mean, he can
They
do the
dirty
coverage.
job.
And the one who is going to dictate the play would actually probably be Ericsson. I mean, it could be Ericsson. And the one who's basically on CAM, it can be Bruno. Or, yeah, but for me, even if you talk about, like you mentioned earlier, when the big playing in the CAM position, I agree. Ajax, he was in a CAM position and he excelled there very, very, very well. But he was also given many opportunities in United to play in a CAM position or so forth. But he did not take his chance. He did not take his chance. I mean, look at Alex Telles today. He's played in the friendlies. He's played on the right. On the left back. He has played as a centre back, and he has also played in the CDM. I'm not saying Alex Telles is going to be a person who can actually contribute to us much in the CDM, but he made 2 or 3 key interceptions today. And yeah, I mean, if somebody can change like that, what about other players?
But then with the youth thing, just to bring it up, I mean, just quickly go through this the youth thing. I think instead of them waiting for opportunities, a few games here and there, I think it would be better if they go out on loan. They can be a regular starter in maybe a championship side team. Build the confidence there, then come back maybe in a year or 2 because they're still young. So there's still a lot of time for them. So I still think that FDJ will be an asset for us. It will still be an asset for us.
I understand that he is going to be an asset, but how long is going to take for us to bring him to United?
Yes.
Because we are unfortunate situation because of the Barcelona.
No, so
They are playing the dirty game.
so if Barca is going to be sticky about this, as we know, Barca is a shit team. Okay, sorry, I hate Barca. All right, if they are going to be sticky about this, why are we being suckers to them? Move on. Move on.
That comes
this-
to the manager plan. The
Yes,
manager, the
and
manager
this-
wants him to dictate his tactics.
I mean, names
He
like
really
Kearlemans came up.
No, but then
But
still,
Tielemans is like
you
far
gotta
away from
understand
Premier
that
League.
we always argue that the manager doesn't get the players that he wants, doesn't support the manager. And
The same happened with David Moyes. He wanted Fabregas, right? But he didn't. At the end, he got what he got was Fellaini. Right?
Okay,
So
so
this is
you
not a
are
position
you are
where-
trying to tell me, sir, that Eric Ten Hag said, I only want FDJ among all the
That's-
hundreds and
that's how it looks
thousands of players in the world,
Yes, it looks
and
like
I
this.
will
is the
not
case.
accept anyone else.
This is the
I will
case.
not be able to get
Yes.
anyone else to play well in our team
Yes.
if it's not FDJ.
Yes.
I don't
Seems
believe
like
so.
that he-
No.
seems like this now.
I don't believe so.
He actually came out to
No,
say that.
of course that would be his first choice. But if he doesn't get his first choice, you tell me that he doesn't have a
we
backup
want to
plan?
give up? Why we want to give up on the
Because
player who's
Barca is so
already-
bloody sticky
But
about it.
at the
So
end,
are we
they
going to
don't
wait for Barca until the last day of transfer and say, sorry, we can't get it? Then we go and buy a Fellaini.
Okay, guys. Okay, I think we are too deep into the FDJ. We're gonna finish it with this Brian Lee comment. Pay the PTPTN hutang lah. Okay, we will probably continue. There's a lot more episodes for us to discuss more about FDJ because I believe this saga is not going to end so soon. Okay, so Pija, I want to talk about our left side and our right side balance. All right, before this, the previous preseason games, right, we were saying that the right side was so lively, but today we can actually see the link up in the left side in the form of Luke Shaw and Marcus Rashford. Okay, these two players has been receiving a lot of stick. Even personally, for myself, just now I was shocked that he was starting over Malaysia. So, what's your take on Luke Shaw and Rashford's performance today?
Luke Shaw and Rashford. Yeah, I think this is the combination that works in only second season or first season. Then so we can see that chemistry to comes back for this preseason lah. But the thing with Luke Shaw is gonna be good at the first half, and the second half is gonna be very like tired. Don't do all this overlap. The thing that we expected him to do, unfortunately. So this is the reason why I really hope for this season he's just gonna be buck it up, build up his fitness back, and then be this Luke Shaw that we know is gonna go run up and down for the 90 minutes. If he can do that, then England spot and also first 11 for Man United gonna be his place. Then Malaysia is gonna be on the bench. But hopefully. The thing is that we can see our overall strength for the fullback or the wing too always going to be on the left side. Since Ole we have the left side, Shaw and Marcus Rashford. Rafrani also Bimala because they tak ada any player. So on the left side, I can't really understand why we still haven't taken this right back issue because it has been 2 seasons that we crying for a proper left back who can cross the ball, who can tackle, who can defend. We have great defenders. I mean, not really great defenders, good defenders in Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Unfortunately, he's so poor going up front with the ball, with the ball, and so up front. So I can't really understand why instead of focusing on the FDJ saga, go try to have or maybe bring on someone. On
No,
right back
because if
position.
you don't have FDJ, ETH cannot perform.
No,
ETH cannot make the team perform if you don't have FDJ.
Apparently now, right? Apparently that there's this insider kind of news which from a reliable source in another channel. They mentioned that actually we have actually budget to actually bring in on top of FDJ and Anthony and whatnot. Okay, and also Aaron Wan-Bissaka, there's apparently a buyer for him already. So that funds will be actually channeled. And on top of that, I believe they will be moving Eric Bailly out of the club.
Jones?
Jones
It's for
also
free.
like,
Yeah,
it's for
even
free.
if
Whoever
it's
who
free,
wants
yeah.
lah can just
So
free.
if let's say Aaron Wan-Bissaka goes to other club, who's gonna be supporting Dalo?
I
really
Definitely they
Yeah,
will
we
be
need
buying.
a
They will be
replacement.
buying.
I
they
know,
will
but
buy
I'm really
better.
confident in terms of Dalo. I don't know. People keep on saying Dalo is better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but I still think that he's a good squad player, not the first team quality of Man United.
So, Syed, how about Marcus Rashford? Let's talk about Marcus Rashford. His confidence is back in. Do you see the old Marcus Rashford now, or do you see Dr. Rashford on the field?
I think it's a old Marcus Rashford we all love. who loves the club, who wants to perform, who wants to give the 200% every game. This is what we are seeing. Kicking the assist, scoring the goal. I think even today he made like few shots where he would have passed. But I think there's a striker instinct where they always have an eye to score the goal. And I think he has scored a lot of goals for us, and he is going to be the legend of the club. I really love this player. I'm all the way behind him. And I think this preseason he's already showing the sign where he's fit enough and he's eager and urged go to score a lot of goals. And even today, the goal he scored, although it was scored as an own goal, but the connection he made, the run he made so fast with Sancho, I think he's really, really sharp, and his game is really up there.
Okay, any players that we miss out?
Martial.
No, Marcel, we already spoke about him. Marcel is fine, Marcel is fine.
I think there was
actually-
once in the second half where Rashford was actually pressing. I mean, this I have to give it to him. I mean, last season is last season. I have to give to him. And Bruno Fernandes was actually staying back and not pressing. He was actually asking the team, Bruno, whoever, come and press together. So you see the enthusiasm in him. You see that he is eager to go all out. And well, he showed it in the game today on a very poor pitch once again. And for me, if he's going to continue it this way, I think it will be good for him, and not only for him, but also ETH and us as fans and the batch Manchester United.
I think
So we want to see that.
Yeah, it's not about the individual how Rashford is playing. I think we should talk about the three units who are playing together for each other and to contributing. Like what we are seeing is they are contributing to each other.
Yes.
Sometimes they are switching. Sometimes they are
Correct.
making a good one-two passing as well. So I think this is most important. Like as a unit, these three are really performing for each other, and they have a very good chemistry, which I hope nobody will
Who will
disrupt.
disrupt? And we were ending at that period.
No, no,
We're
no,
ending
no,
at
no,
that
no.
period.
No. Okay, you say about these three units. When we sign Anthony, where are you going to put Anthony?
Definitely.
I think and Anthony would be a threat for all these three players. Whoever is not performing, there will be Anthony
Yes,
who would
yes,
come
yes.
and who would play. I know Anthony is a Brazilian national team player as well. He deserves first team spot. But I think just like Malaysia, who's going to transform Roberto Carlos 2.0, I think this is where Anthony is also required, or any new striker is required to give them a threat. Because if let's say we don't also have Cavani, like we have Ronaldo,
Yeah,
we
yes.
still have Ronaldo, maybe or maybe not, but the Cavani is gone, right? So even with Ronaldo, we also had Cavani who would be on the bench, who can come and who can play together. So I think Anthony would also play a role to improve game.
Based on current performance of our front three, Martial, Sancho, and Rashford. All right. Who do you think is in more danger, the most dangerous one to lose their position at this current moment?
Sancho.
Sancho?
Most dangerous?
Yes.
Most dangerous?
Yes, most dangerous to lose their position in the front three to Anthony.
It could be anyone, but I think the most dangerous who's performing better would be Sancho.
Sancho.
I think Sancho is.
He can move to the left in
Yeah.
case of anything. I would say Rashford though. I would say
You
Rashford.
said Rashford will actually lose his position to Anthony.
No, I mean,
I mean,
subsequently,
no. My question is, who is in danger of losing their position to Anthony
of course,
if they don't
So far,
perform
no.
the front three?
no, if just say if they don't perform from three, obviously, if just say you're talking about like that is the right winger, so you're talking about Sancho, but Sancho is performing.
Mhm.
So if out of the three, if you say the weak link, right, I would probably say Rashford now. I would say Rashford, and then what will happen is Sancho will actually move to the left, and then Anthony will take the right spot, which is options.
And Anthony is not a central striker. He's also a winger who loves to come inside.
Inverted winger, yeah.
But
He comes in.
I
I
would
think
say,
it would be either.
So you are trying to
Sancho
tell
or-
me that Martial will still keep his position even with today's performance like this?
why not? If you that's the thing. That's the thing I want to ask you. Which one? You know the thing about Smurf, guys. Is that out of 10. Okay, let's not 10. Okay, Martial so far we played 4 preseason games.
Yeah.
3 games he performed and 1 game is off. So we have a rate of what 75%. That is 75% there.
That's correct.
Correct, right? 75%, right? So this would you consider a 75% performance an okay performance to actually keep your spot?
He deserved it so to start the first game of the season because because you can see even though he's not performing, you can see the link up play for these three now. I don't have issues for him not scoring today because
No, it's not about scoring. It's not about the striker have to go in for every game and score a game. Where was he today? For me, today Martial was absolutely missing from the game.
No.
He was absolutely lost in the game. Well, Sancho was quite lively. Rashi was quite lively, but it was hard to see Martial being lively
Was
today.
there anything coming from the middle just now? We
No,
were all
because-
attacking from
Because Bruno was also playing on the left side.
on the left hand side.
The
Everything was
midfield
coming from the.
different. Bruno was on the left, Van de Beek was on the right, and then
Okay,
the
when the
middle
big was
spread.
off, when the big was
So,
off,
Van de
he
Beek
was not
off,
helping
but
anybody in
talking
the
about
team.
like today, Bruno was not in the middle to help Martial.
To link up, yes.
So
Exactly.
Bruno was helping with Shaw and Rashford as a trio together.
But I still feel that Marshall should have did better today.
I think he
I
didn't get
still
a
feel
great
he
chance.
should
He
have
didn't
did
get a-
better today.
he didn't
No
get a
doubt,
great
he
chance.
did not go all out. I feel he did not go all out. Okay, he hold back a little bit on his match. I mean, I'm not against Marshall to play in the next friendly, to start in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, because at the moment I think that these three they have been doing well. But I was a bit dejected with Marshall's performance today. He didn't show me any enthusiasm like what he did in the last game. I mean, we as the fans, yeah, we can criticize players like me. I criticize Maguire, but well, hell, he did a fantastic save today. We would have lost the game. No, we get that
We
later.
will be going to
Yeah,
that
we'll
later.
get
Don't
that-
spoil the
we'll
paper.
get-
Don't spoil the
We'll get into
papers.
that later. But for me, Marshall basically he should have did much better today. Yeah, I mean, we talk about previous games, he did well, but today he has been off, so he have to be criticized for it.
Not
But we cannot
100%
write
off.
off him.
He
We
did
No, no, I'm not
runs.
writing him off.
He made runs.
I'm not writing him
He
off
made
at the moment.
runs. He made runs and open spots for
No,
Marshall.
There was an incident, actually two incidents. He was late into the box. I mean, yeah, we were having a chat about it when Sancho was actually coming from the right.
He didn't cross-
Sancho should actually have just had the first cross in, but where was Marshall? He was way at the back. So Sancho had to push a little bit further
One more
before he
step.
comes in. Exactly.
So
So
at the same time, if Rashford would have taken the cross earlier, Marcel would have probably tapped it in as well.
So yes, but for me,
so in a
but
way,
no, for me,
I
Marshall
wouldn't-
is still he needs to. For me, he is a I wouldn't say a good player. He has to prove himself to me still. But he has been doing well. He has been doing well in the preseason. But today he was a bit off. He needs to improve on this. He needs to show more energy, more enthusiasm, and more wanting to go all out.
I think
But he was missed today.
Maybe the pitch as well today.
it's the
I
pitch.
think Athletic.
So now you all agree. it's the pitch.
I think
the style
because
you mentioned,
said about
Yes.
I think $1 for
Martial's style of play, you require quick passes,
Quick
1 to 2
passes,
passes.
yes.
Maybe a smooth carpet.
Yes.
Something carpet, like, you know.
Under the table.
No,
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 sometimes we need to set our standards. Okay, we finish up your statement before I bring you to the last topic.
Maguire.
No, I think the issue about Marshall today is because of having this Van de Beek who's running around everywhere.
He's
When
disrupting everything. Yes.
when we have this one player who's going to be run everywhere, he's going to disrupt because sometimes you can see Marshall how Marshall play. You're going to be stay in the middle, then he's going to come deep.
That's why today he came deep.
Yeah,
He
but
was
when-
even deeper than
but
usual actually.
when he
Because
came
Bruno
deep,
was not there.
because he's not going because Van de Beek is taking that position for Marshall. So when he did that, you can see why Marshall cannot be influencing this style yang kita nampak tu. So when
I can agree with your point, but yeah, like I said, in regards to Van de Beek was I do not know what was
He did
Van de
not
Beek
make
doing.
use of his opportunity.
Yeah, he just lost it out. Yeah.
Guys, we are at about 40 minutes already. We need to wrap up soon. The final thing I want to ask Smurf. Okay, just now you're talking about Marcel. Okay, fine. Out of 4 games, 1 game he didn't really perform 75%. Well, there's another guy that many would argue he's the man of the match today. Right? He could be the man of the match today. One bad pass, he actually gave the ball away to the opponent in the form of Harry Maguire. What's your take on his performance today? Right,
Okay.
camera on him.
Okay. In regards to Harry Maguire, yes, I criticize this guy. He is for me he's still not a worthy captain. He's not a worthy captain. But yeah, I always mention, if there is a time to give him credit for what he's doing well. There's no point of criticizing him or trying to turn the leaf around and say no, he still did bad and blah blah blah. Well, for me, I give him credit today. I wouldn't say he was very, very impressive, but you can see, I see progression in his game from, but it's just 2 games. I mean, he has to be consistent because in the Premier League, you're playing for a top club like Manchester United. You don't play for 3 good games and then you go missing for 35 games in the Premier League. So, well, this particular 2 games, yeah, I mean, the opponents are against Aussie side and now Villa. He did well today, and yes, he saved us from losing 3-2 at the end of the day, because without that particular run back, yeah, he did not jog today. I was also impressed that after a corner up front, this guy was actually running back, and I was saying, yeah, Maguire is running back. He's not jogging, and I mean, I'll smile and say that. Put it that way. I'll smile and say that. But which is a good progression. But at the end of the day, without Maguire going into that particular tackle, it would have made David De Gea look worse today, because we would have lost the game flat 3-2.
And if not De Gea, we would have won the game today.
Nonsense.
and then, guys, for those of you who have missed,
So who are you going to put?
wait, guys, wait,
Tom Heaton.
wait, guys. For those of you who have missed the live watch along, look back. Okay, the reaction to Harry Maguire's save. Some guy's face was literally red, and it's not because of the lighting or the camera. We got good high quality camera.
Lighting.
Okay, guys, I think we're at the end of our show. Okay, thank you finally. Nice to see you guys in person.
But not nice to draw the game.
Not nice to draw
Yeah,
the game.
it was really bad for our first encounter as watch along. Drawing 2-2. To me, it still feels like a lose. Drawing feels like a lose. That is all about Manchester United. It's either you win the game or you lose the game. For me, there's no draw in United.
Let's take some positive also from this. At least we are exposed in the preseason, so we can actually manage our expectations. And then also for Eric Ten Hag, homework to do, the players homework to do.
Oh, he was criticizing
a little bit of hair dryer, although there's no hair lah. But then whatever it is lah. Ball dryer.
I think our next game is against Atletico Madrid.
Atletico
Yeah,
Madrid.
Maybe we will see Ronaldo playing against us.
Yes.
We don't know.
And with that, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us on our stream. Thank you for supporting us. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Good night.